Before this chapter begins, I would like to give you all a little heads up. There is a particular section that mentions a very heavy subject matter that still affects relations between China and Japan today. If you do not know what it is, then I recommend that you do some research on what happened in China in late December of 1937, but I must urge you to take caution. What you will find is horrific. Now, any blanket denial of this event will not be tolerated in the comment section and it will be deleted on site. With that said, enjoy the chapter. A single Japanese garrison marches along the riverside into an open area. Ozawa and Sato are among those who are marching with the troops. The former dashes eyes away from the front to the side of the Marco Polo Bridge in the distance.
Oh, God!
Ganti's eyes stares forward, hearing the pain from one of the soldiers.
No, not now.
Hey, Shimura, what's wrong?
I think my stomach's reacting in the way that it isn't supposed to.
Oh my God, what did I tell you about eating too much meat and rice?
I thought you were joking.
Why the f*** would I joke about that? Hey, shut up! Ozawa and Sato let out a quiet sigh. Look, I have something that'll treat your stomach. Huh? His sentence stops from finishing. Ozawa's eyes catches something. A group of men in light blue uniforms are lining up on the other side of the river. Hey, Sato, take a look across the river. Sato, curiously, looks to where his friend is pointing to. No, they're not. Who are they? One of ours? No, they're not. Well, who are they? Soldiers of the Chinese Nationalist Army. They seem to be doing exercises like us. The soldiers of the Chinese 219th Regiment of the 37th Division aims their Type 24 bolt-action rifles. Are they supposed to be aiming at the water? Flashing lights appears and disappears almost instantly. A flurry of bullets zips past their heads, but one of the bullets hits Private Hayatsu in the head, killing him.
Oh! No, they're aiming at us! Get to cover and return fire!
The Japanese soldiers runs to the side of the path, coming to a steep, and ducks behind it. They peek their heads out and returns fire with their Type 99 Arisaka rifles. The fire continues for 3 minutes. One side hits one, and vice versa. Some of the brave Chinese soldiers runs onto the bridge with their comrades covering them.
Do not let one come across!
Half of the Imperial soldiers turns to the bridge, unleashing a barrage of bullets from their rifles. A realization dawns on Ozawa, causing him to stop firing.
Wait, where's Shimura? What? Wasn't he just here? Oh, hell! Major!
Toshiro looks to the private.
Shimura's gone missing, sir. What? Probably taken prisoner. Sato, Ozawa, head back to command and inform them on the situation.
The two nods and crouch run behind friendly lines, away from the battle. 15 minutes passes. Ozawa and Sato had told the commander that the Chinese started opening fire and Private Kikujiro had disappeared. An ultimatum is sent to the Chinese commander, Ji Xingwen. If you do not return one of our soldiers, we will have no choice but to go to war. Sir, I have received a message from the Chinese 219th Regiment commander. They agreed to a ceasefire, but they refused an investigation to search for our missing soldier. Standing inside of the tent, though at a distance, Sato and Ozawa's hearts feels as though it sank to their stomachs. And with the constant attacks from the Chinese communists, it seems like it'll never end. Looks like we have no other choice. Call up reinforcements. We're shelling Wimpeng tomorrow on the 9th. A great chill goes down the spines of Ozawa and Sato. As the officers fixate on the map in front of them, the two takes the opportunity to step out of the tent. Ozawa brushes his short hair back. Son of a bitch. I never thought I'd see the day. Not in my lifetime. Oh, there you guys are. The two becomes instantly frightened the moment Kikujiro steps up to them.
What the? Where the hell have you been?
I had to use the bathroom. I couldn't find a toilet anywhere, so I had to use the bushes. Well, that's what you get for eating too much. So, what's been going on? Wait, what's going on? Well, jeez, how do I say it? We're at war with China. What? Mitsubishi G3M medium bombers flies over the city of Shanghai. Their payloads drops to the ground below, exploding on impact, shaking the earth and terrorizing the civilians who remained in the city. Within the buildings, the foundations rattles under the quake, but subsides after a few seconds. Dust falls onto the shoulder of Lance Corporal Ozawa, who is sneaking in the hallway on the third floor of the Wukong mansion. Following behind him are Superior Private Sato and the 48th Infantry Squad. The gunfire outside of the building is muffled, but they can still hear echoes throughout the city. The squad continues to walk slowly down the hall, trying to pick up any sign of activity. A voice breaks out in between the gunfire. He raises his right hand from his Arisaka rifle to his side. "Hold it!" He listens for another. The same voice breaks, followed by another. Ganti shifts his eyes, locking onto a door 10 feet away. "I hear voices. 2, inside. Get to the other side." Ozawa grips the rifle and he slowly takes a few steps ahead. Getting to the right side of the door, he plants his side on the wall. The squad gets closer to the left and remains. The two soldiers listen again. Indeed, there are people inside of the room. A break in the action outside stops. One of the soldiers moves their foot slightly, creating a creak in the floorboard. The voices inside stops. Ozawa and Sato look at each other. With no words, they nod. They move their heads away from the door. Gentoga reaches his hand out. With his body away from the door, he grabs onto the handle. He clicks it. Bullets burst from the wooden frame of the door, causing him to retract his hand. He plants his back on the floor, with the squad doing the same. The gunfire stops. The squad waits, aiming their Arisaka rifles at the door. The Japanese patiently waits for anyone to step out. Seconds goes by. The door clicks. It slightly opens, revealing a Type 24 rifle pushing it. Ozawa lifts his rifle up. A face of a Chinese soldier peeks out. The Japanese Mongol pulls the trigger. The bullet fires from the rifle, hitting the soldier in the head, killing him.
"They're still there! Clear the room!"
The 48th squad gets to one knee. More rounds of rifle fire prevents them from firing inside.
"Damn it! There's more of them! Any ideas? Get a grenade in there!"
Privates Mantanichi and Sanjiro close up next to Sato. They grab and pull the Type 97 hand grenade. They pull the pins and throws them inside. The Chinese soldier stops firing, alarmed by the two grenades, but they explode before they get to react in time.
"Now!"
The 48th Infantry aims their Arisakas and fires up all of the enemy combatants inside. One after the other, the enemy soldiers get hit in a hail of gunfire. Moments later, everything falls silent. The sounds of war on the outside are the only things that the soldiers hear.
"Clear the room!"
The squad stands to their feet and enters the room. Aiming their rifles, they examine every inch of it. Ozawa looks down as the others continues to search. His eyes locks into the dead bodies and splintered up wood. He stops in place. His eyes gazes upon one soldier still alive, but barely. His chest and stomach are shot and his neck got hit, causing a young soldier to struggle to breathe. Locking eyes, Gentoga knows that the man is not going to make it in any way. He aims his rifle directly at his face. His finger shakes as he tries to pull the trigger. He takes in a deep breath and closes his eyes. The rifle fires, and the bullet drives through the dying soldier's head, ending him. The squad turns to the Lance Corporal. Ozawa cocks the bolt and exhales. To others, they only see their squad leader finishing the job. All clear?
"Yes, sir."
Good. Move out. The 48th Infantry exits the room. Ozawa turns and walks. Ganti, you hesitated, didn't you? The Japanese Mongolian stops in his tracks. How did you know? Sato approaches his friend behind him. I actually noticed that you didn't pull the trigger right away. No one would take that amount of time to finish someone off. I did what I had to do. That's it. With that response, Ozawa walks out of the room. Sato looks at the body, then at the door, sighing to himself. Strangely, I don't blame you. Then he walks out of the room. Newly promoted Sergeant Kentoga Ozawa stands at the very gates of China's capital, Nanjing, with another officer, Sergeant Mikushima. A strange feeling swirls in his mind. Wait, what the f*** am I doing? I'm supposed to be heading for the Mongolian border, not continue fighting with the Japanese. He lets out a light sigh to himself. Great, now I got to achieve this some other way.
Mikushima!
He and the sergeant hears the angered-filled shout. Both of them looks behind them, spotting Sato approaching with furious intent.
Sato, what's wrong? You disgusting pig!
Michael grabs hold of Mikushima's neck and strangles him. Ozawa rushes over and grabs hold of his friend, pulling him off of him.
And stop! What are you doing? That disgusting bastard is allowing atrocities to happen. Have you no shame, you filthy animal? Don't you ever lay your hands on me ever again. And I have my orders, Lance Corporal. You have no right to judge. You're dead.
Ozawa gets in front of Sato and pushes him slightly, holding him back.
What is wrong with you? We just got here and I don't want you to screw this up.
Sato looks to his friend. Gonti, you have no idea what is going on inside of that city, do you? What? No. All right. I'll tell you. But don't say I didn't warn you. Minutes passes as Sato explains what has been going on inside of Nanjing. He finishes and Ozawa becomes utterly disgusted and furious. He turns his anger to Mikushima. What the f? Don't tell me that you side with him. I thought the code of the Japanese soldier is to kill his enemy in a quick, easy manner with honor.
Not genocide and Listen to me right now. If you were trapped in a city like Shanghai with nothing but the bullets in your pouch, low rations, and your friends dying all around you, you are bound to inflict punishment on your enemy who has wronged you. It's the Chinese soldiers who we're at war with, not the people. You're just begging to be hated by the entire world.
Mikushima comes right up to his face. The world turned against us. Have you forgotten where you came from? No, I never forget where I came from. You may participate or ignore this massacre, but we won't. Sato?
Yeah?
We're heading back to Japan. Come on. Both he and Sato turns their backs against Mikushima and storms off. The man himself becomes infuriated. He aims his Arisaka and his finger hangs on the trigger. But he hesitates to fire. Knowing Osawa's marksman skill, he's thinking against it. He calms down and hangs the rifle on his back. Pfft, you got lucky, Mongol. Ozawa and Sato sit near a table reading novels that otherwise would have been banned many years ago. Hey, what do you got there? A book about Daimajin. Apparently, he was the first esper in Japan in 500 years. Oh, who was the last one before him? If you don't count Dragonborn or him, then I don't know. Yeah, let's not mention that other one. A knock on the door gets their attention. Come in! The door opens, and a man steps inside of the room. The two friends stand to their feet, setting the books down. The Imperial Japanese officer puts his hands behind his back. Lieutenant General Takehiro Fukuhara, sorry for the abrupt entrance. Is there something that you need, sir? Why, yes, there is. We need you two back in the army. The man becomes disappointed. Sorry, but we can't. After what happened in Nanjing, we want nothing to do with the Japanese army anymore. Yeah, what he said. Well, circumstances has changed. We're at war. Against the Chinese, yeah, we know. China just declared war today. From disappointment to shock. Wait, what? Hold on. They couldn't before? No, they couldn't, because their supplies would have been cut off. All right. Aside from the Chinese, who are we at war with? The British, the Dutch, the Koopas, and the Americans. The two friends becomes even more shocked. Never in their lives did they ever imagine that war against any of the Western powers is possible.
What? Why? Why are we at war with them?
I knew leaving the soldiers unaware was a bad idea. What do you mean? How did all of this happen? Because of our invasion of Indochina and our ongoing conflict with China, America imposed a blockade of basic materials and resources, like oil. As a result, the government and Navy conducted a surprise attack on the American Pacific Fleet. It succeeded, and right now we're invading Southeast Asia and the Philippines, all part of our plan. Ozawa and Sato are stunned into silence, which is why, despite what you two went through in China, you'll be sent to an army barracks in Nagasaki. Furious, Ozawa bangs his fist on the table.
What part of "we want nothing to do with the Japanese army" do you not understand? This isn't my order to give. It came from the Prime Minister.
Once again, the men are stunned into silence. Look, you have no other choice. You'll be serving under my command. And if I were you, Ozawa, I'd think twice before shouting at your superior officer. Fukuhara turns around, storming out of the room. As the door slams, Ozawa once again punches the desks beside him. Hey, calm down. Let's just get this over with. Ozawa snaps his head to his friend. Why the hell didn't you say anything?
Because he was armed and we're not. He would have shot us.
I should have taken the f***ing bullet anyway. The language barrier is obvious. What? I said pack your stuff. Oh, right. As Maiko rushes to the closet, Gentoga lets out a heavy sigh. God f***ing damn it. For the first few months of 1942, the Japanese have been unstoppable in their conquest. The capture of the Philippines, the Dutch East Indies, Malaya, much of Burma, and North Papua New Guinea. But their so-called invincibility turned into fantasy. April 18th, 1942. The skies are roaring with the sound of engines. Bombs falls to earth, accompanied by the whistle. B-25 Mitchell bombers, taken off from the flight deck of the carrier USS Hornet 700 miles, 1,100 kilometers away, drops their bombs onto the cities of Yokohama, Yokosuka, Kobe, Nagoya, Osaka, and the capital, Tokyo. The latter of which Ozawa and Sato are stationed at. Barely managing to dodge one of the bombs, they run to safety. Once it is over, they and the other soldiers stationed there becomes rescue teams with the rest of their squad. For the first time in 4 years, both friends have tasted action. Yet instinctively, they knew that Japan would not survive for long. A feeling that would become amplified. They managed to find out what happened during the Battle of the Coral Sea on May 4th to May 8th, as well as the Battle of Midway on June 4th to June 7th, 1942, and the fate of Kirubutai, the First Air Fleet. Even when the Japanese government removed what had happened in the two battles, Ozawa and Sato noticed that most of the carriers that were sent into battle never returned to their ports. But they kept the knowledge to themselves so that they would not get into trouble. July 8th, 1942. Maiko and Gentoga are sent to the Solomon Islands in the South Pacific, specifically Guadalcanal. But in August, after the U.S. 1st Marine Division and the Cuba's 8th Infantry Division landed on the 7th, the Japanese realized that the airfield needs to be captured once again. Many attempts were made, but most of them failed. On one of these attempts is where Ozawa and Sato would see their first taste of battle in over 4 years. Colonel Kiyanao Ichiki, with his Type 100 submachine gun, leads the 28th Infantry Regiment quietly through the jungle to meet the American Koopa forces up ahead. The soldiers he is leading are gripping their Type 99 rifles as they continue to sneak past the 50-foot tall trees and the bushes. Ozawa and Sato plants on the dirt with the others. Ganti looks to his friend, noticing the unfazed expression on his face. He is hyper-focused and is not letting anything distract him. Let's hope we get out of this together. They and the others reaches the side of Alligator Creek. On the other side, American Marines of the 1st Marine Regiment and Koopa troops of the Koopa's 12th Infantry Regiment are lying in waiting. Private James Conway, manning the Browning M2 machine gun, hears something. His eyes catches some of the bushes slightly moving. Other Marines in Koopa spots the other bushes moving. He reaches his hand over and taps a sleeping soldier.
Psst, hey, Eddie! Eddie!
The original Dragonborn, Colonel Edward Anderson, wakes up.
Ugh, God, what is it? I see movement, 12 o'clock.
Anderson crawls from his back to his stomach. He darts his eyes at the bushes slightly moving. Other Marines and Koopas gets the others to pay attention to what is ahead. He closes his eyes and reopens them. His infrared eyesight catches glimpses of the Japanese.
What do you see?
What Volza had warned. An entire regiment. He unsheathes the blade of Dragonborn, ironically shaped as a katana, and digs the blade into the dirt.
Prepare yourself.
Conway slowly cocks the 50 caliber machine gun. Other Marines ready themselves with their M1 Thompsons, M1 Garans, and water-cooled M1917 machine guns, while the Koopas arms their Mark 12 crossbows for what is to come. The bushes stops moving. The sounds of the crickets buzzing, frogs croaking echoes. Anderson grips his blade with anticipation. Flashes pops. Japanese rifles roars, unleashing a wave of gunfire. A barrier of dirt protrudes, protecting Eddie and Conway. The Marines and Koopas returns fire. Rifles, submachine guns, machine guns of both calibers, and crossbows fires bullet after bullet, arrow after arrow, trying to hit their specific target. The Japanese fires flares up into the air. The Marines brings in mortars for close support. At many points throughout, shouting matches, including insults and slurs, are thrown about by both sides. Kentoka and Michael do not partake in the verbal exchange, as they are focused on the task at hand. A bullet hits the latter's shoulder.
Ah! I'm hit!
Ozawa stops firing and attends to his friend.
I got you!
An arrow drives deep into his right arm.
God!
He falls to his back. He grabs the arrow and digs it out. He rips a piece of his uniform off, wraps it around the wound, while the Japanese continues to fire. A soldier falls on his back, revealing a bullet had drove straight into his head.
Ah! Now's our chance! Go!
Half of the Japanese regiment utters a battle cry as they run to their right.
They're trying to flank! Do not let them!
Conway turns the M2 to his left, firing every 10 seconds, with half of the Marines and Koopas doing the same.
Ah, to hell with this!
Ozawa grabs onto Sato's shoulders. He drags his friend away from the front line, with no one noticing, taking the opportunity to escape. 6:24 a.m. The sun begins to rise over the horizon. Far from the Marines and Koopa's position, Ozawa and Sato attends to each other's wounds and injuries. I know. Just hold still. He wraps the medical tape around Michael's shoulder, then he finishes. Phew. Okay, that should do it. Jeez, that was something. Yeah, I tried to tell him it was a bad idea. Yet, look at what happened, huh? All right, extend your arm. Ganti spreads his arm forward. Sato grabs a cotton ball and a bottle. He puts the cotton ball on the wound. You know, I thought the Koopa thing was a joke, but it wasn't. Oh, man, I thought I was the only one. Yeah. Command didn't mention that we attacked them too? How did that happen? Pfft, another item that Japan refuses to share. Typical. Though, I was surprised to see Dragonborn here. Sato lifts the blood-covered cotton ball from the wound. Right? Thank God we didn't get our heads sliced off. He picks up a bottle and opens the cap. He tilts it, and the isopropyl alcohol pours out from within and drips onto the wound.
Ouch!
Hold still, will you? Well, you're right. At least we didn't die. In all honesty, that was a stupid offensive. I get that we need to take back the airfield, but an attempted flank when the enemy have, machine guns and arrows? Like, what the f*** were they thinking? Sato puts the bottle down and grabs the medical tape. Well, it's the Japanese army. What did you expect? Common sense? Yeah, I guess. Still, though, I don't know why Dragonborn is here in the Pacific, with him being, British. Michael finishes wrapping the tape around Ozawa's arm. Right, we should head back. Maybe they won't kill us for cowardice. Oh, God, don't even mention it. How would my family feel if I got shot? They'd be horrified. Don't you miss your family? Of course I do, but I miss living in Mongolia. Well, he picks up his Arisaka rifle and stands to his feet. We are far from Mongolia at this point. The bushes behind the two rustles. Michael aims, and Ozawa picks up his rifle and aims at the bushes as well. A hand appears from the leaves, followed by another. From the sleeves, they recognize the khaki color. Hold on, it's one of ours. The bloody soldier continues to crawl, revealing his full body. Wait, Colonel?
Those stupid Americans! Stupid Koopas! Stupid bastards!
What happened?
They killed them all. What went wrong?
Ichiki lifts his body, sitting on his knees. His eyes locks onto the two.
Wait. Mongol. Sato. You were supposed to be with me.
Sato rubs the back of his head. Yeah, we were, but we fell back.
Ichiki grows frustrated and angry. He stumbles to his feet, draws his pistol, and aims at Maiko. You filthy coward! I knew I shouldn't have trusted you. If I'm going out, then I'm taking you with me!
The thunderous crack of the Arasaka goes off, startling Sato. His weapon did not go off. He looks to Ozawa. The barrel of his rifle is smoking. He looks back at the colonel. A gunshot wound sits on his forehead with blood pouring out of it. The man lowers his pistol and falls over to his side. Ozawa cocks the bolt and rests the rifle down.
What the f***? He was going to kill both of us! Oh God, how are we supposed to tell this to the others?
Calm down, we'll just tell them that he got killed in action.
Hey, I heard a shot over here! Let's go!
They crouch and rush into the bushes away from the Koopa American soldiers. Through the rest of 1942, many attempted offensives were made, and all of them have failed. And each time, Sato and Ozawa have escaped. Countless amounts of times have they escaped raises many concerns and questions from the rest of the Japanese on the island. But a greater issue has occurred. The supplies are becoming less and less because of the amount of Koopa American reinforcements that are coming to the island. A message comes in from the mainland. The Japanese 17th Army must evacuate Guadalcanal. February 4th, 1943. A Japanese destroyer sails away from the island. Sitting inside of the vessel, Ozawa and Sato are eating a bowl of rice and curry, with drinkable water and a blanket over their shoulders.
Oh my God, this is so good! And thank the Lord we made it! And thank the Lord we made it!
All of our supplies were low. Yeah, thank God. Sato stops and notices his friend's low spirit. Hey, what's wrong? Sato, what was the point of that? We had to do with disease, starvation, almost near-ending gun battles with the Americans and the Koopas,
and we almost got shot by our commanding officer!
Is there no sense and self-pride around here? Sato sets his utensils down and continues to look at him. I don't know how to respond to that. I mean, it wasn't all bad, was it? Ganti's quick response catches the man off guard, of which he does not have an answer for. 1943 rolls on. The battles between Imperial Japan and the United States, the Koopa Kingdom and their allies continues throughout the Western and Southern Pacific. Ozawa and Sato, thankfully, do not see much action. Unknown to one side, but known by the other, however, there is an incident that the two men will never forget. Gentoga and Maiko walk alongside each other, with the latter bursting out laughing.
You're still on about that?
Yeah? What's wrong with it?
Because it's impossible, you idiot.
Oh, come on. How hard can it be?
Look, all I'm saying is that you won't be able to create a Mongol empire. Not in this day and age. Hey, you laugh, but wait until the next 20 years.
Sure, Ganti, sure. The air raid siren suddenly goes off. The two goes from happy to alert. They look to the skies above them.
Get to the AA guns! Yes, sir!
The two looks to the colonel as soldiers runs past them.
Colonel, is it bombers?
Wait, I don't hear any engines coming in. A great, tremendous roar echoes through the surroundings, catching all, including the civilians, off guard. But some of the civilians knows what it is.
Oh no, it's him!
Him? The ground shakes. Then it shakes again. What the hell? The sound of a building being destroyed grabs their attention. They all turn around. all of their eyes widens. A small home, ripped from its foundation, flies over their heads and crashes in the water near the battleship Matsu. They turn back to what was the cause. Shock turns into fear. Godzilla I walks into the small village, tearing through small buildings with ease. A squad fires the Type 3 120mm anti-aircraft gun at the beast. He turns his body, swinging his tail to the side.
Look out!
Ozawa grabs Sato and the two falls to the ground. The tail flies over them, leaving a rush of wind behind. But the tail hits onto 3 soldiers, killing them instantly. The tail lifts and slams down. The force knocks away the two, sending them against the building where the HQ was at. The two slowly get to their feet as they witness the great beast in front of them. The AA guns continues to fire and the kaiju roars at the soldiers. Godzilla lifts his foot and crushes the battery, killing the men manning it.
Wait, is that Godzilla? He rarely comes out of the Pacific. I never thought I'd see him in person.
You and me both. Shells collides and explodes onto Godzilla's chest, causing the kaiju to shriek. He turns his head to what caused it. The battleship Matsu's 16.1-inch guns fires its armor-piercing shells. They explode on contact, blowing chunks of his skin off. But as the smoke clears, it reveals that his skin is healed, shocking the sailors on board the old dreadnought. The beast's dorsal fins glows blue, blinding some of the soldiers and civilians. His mouth opens and a concentrated blue ray fires from his mouth. Traveling at Mach 60, it hits and penetrates through the Matsu's amidships and turret 3. As the ray disappears, the battleship explodes, splitting into 2. All of the soldiers, including Gentoga and Maiko, are stunned into silence. As the fiery smoke rises to the atmosphere, Godzilla arches his head up, roaring into the skies. June 21st. The Imperial Japanese government covered up the incident, with the story of the battleship Matsu explosion being an accident and not caused by Godzilla I. Only those who saw what had actually happened can only keep it to themselves, including Gentoga Ozawa and Maiko Sato. Both men would participate in battle after battle throughout 1943 into 1944, from the Battle of Tarawa to the Battle of Saipan. With each battle, they have survived and escaped. With it, Ozawa's contempt against the Imperial Japanese grows and grows, especially after seeing atrocities on both sides of the Pacific War. As they do escape each time, however, more and more Japanese soldiers belittles them for cowardice on the battlefields, even when the two fought alongside them. Gentoga was hit more so because of his ethnicity, which is not changing his mindset. Until it had gotten worse. Insects chirps in the jungle around them. The sun's heat smashes onto them. Near the beaches, the Japanese 2nd Infantry Regiment of the 14th Division lies in wait for the incoming American Cuba invasion. But all around, most are feeling the effects of the intense heat wave. Sitting in a foxhole, tank tops showing and a bandana around their foreheads, Ozawa wipes the sweat off, with Sato fanning himself and his friend.
Ugh, God, this heat is unbearable! I know. How are we supposed to tolerate this? It's like the government is trying to kill us.
The two slumps. A shadow casts over them. They look behind them, seeing Lieutenant Colonel Mikushima with his arms crossed and looking very furious.
Oh, Lieutenant Colonel, can we get some more shade? We're burning up here.
Stop complaining and stay focused. The Americans and Kubas could be here in any minute.
How are we supposed to focus if this heat is killing us?
Well, it's not my problem, is it? His snarky, attitude-filled response catches Gentoga's attention. And Ozawa, try not to walk away this time. He turns around and walks away from them. Stupid. Both Ozawa and Sato heard what the man just said. A vein pops on the former's neck. He crawls out of the foxhole with Sato trying to stop him. Whoa, 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 Ganzi, don't do it, don't do it. Standing on his feet, Ozawa balls up his fist. You want to repeat that again, you filthy... The lieutenant colonel stops in his tracks, turns back around, and stares down back at him. Sato instinctively jumps out of the foxhole. He rushes in between Mikushima and Ozawa as the two draw closer to each other.
hang on, let's calm down now. What? Was I not supposed to say that? Well, that's what you are, so deal with it. Gonti, stop! You better keep your mouth shut, Sergeant. You don't talk like that to your superior officer.
The other soldiers are getting closer to this heated confrontation. Sato tries his best to push them away, keeping them at bay.
Damn it, now isn't the time for this! How about you keep control of your friend so that he doesn't decide to cower like a bitch? Now you are out of line. Better yet, how about you try to keep your dick in your pants so that it doesn't get shot off by a 50 caliber bullet? That's it?
He furiously pulls out his Nambu pistol.
I've had it with this Mongol!
Ozawa and Sato draws their Nambu pistols out and aims at Mikushima, with the man following suit. The soldiers around them draws their Type 99 rifles at all three men.
Don't do this. It's not worth it. It's been a long time coming, because I should have shot both of you in 1937. I knew it was a mistake to let you live. Right back at you, sicko. This is your last chance, Lieutenant Colonel. Put your weapon down.
Not until you two lower yours. Oh no, we insist, motherfucker. Their finger slowly and slightly pulls on the triggers. A bomb whistles in the air. It crashes on the ground and explodes, sending the three and the others off their feet. The whistling F-4U Corsairs fly past the airfield, dropping their bombs all around. The Japanese gets to their feet and runs to cover. Ozawa and Sato jumps back into the foxhole and ducks. An F-4U swoops down, firing its machine gun down below. The bullets hits Mikushima in the back, out of his chest. The man falls back down, dying. Gonti peeks his head out, seeing the body laying there. An explosion erupts, vaporizing what remains of the dead Lieutenant Colonel. He ducks back into cover, waiting for the bombardment to end. From the beaches to the airfield, through the trench system, the jungle and fortified bunkers, to the underground tunnels within the mountain, Kentoga and Maiko have survived each engagement against the Koopa American forces, fighting and narrowly escaping. However, they are not the only ones they are avoiding. October 30th. Ozawa and Sato come under fire by some Japanese soldiers. Their survival tactics avoids getting hit multiple times. They kill 20 of their own comrades out of self-defense. In one instance, Sato witnesses Ozawa brutally beating a sergeant to death with the sergeant's own sword. He stops him from doing anything worse. November 25th. The two boards a Japanese destroyer fleeing from the island. Almost immediately, they were about to be interrogated. Arriving back in Japan days later, however, the Japanese government reverses their decision when they read about Ozawa's brutality on Peleliu, and the two were sent to Fuji City until the next call-up. Inside of a sitting bedroom, Ozawa stands across from the sitting Sato, staring at him baffled. Wait, you got permission to leave the army? It seems like it, but you're, still enlisted. Me. Ozawa sits in a chair next to the bed, plants his face on his hands. Sato scoots to the edge and looks at him. Look, I know it sucks, but I can't get them to change their mind. Ozawa lifts his head and looks back at him. What will change their mind? His quick response causes Maiko to not respond. Listen to me. We have survived the Marco Polo Bridge incident, Shanghai, got out of Nanjing as soon as we found out what was really going on in there, Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Saipan, Peleliu, and even Godzilla, for f***'s sake. Can you honestly tell me, with a straight face, that everything will be all right when Japan is on the verge of losing, throwing soldiers' lives away like candy, and... God! He buries his face in his hands once again, letting out a heavy sigh.
What is the point of this anymore?
Maiko looks away from him. The man brings up many points. They have survived, yet with no end in sight of what they want. He lifts his hand and places it on his friend's shoulder. You know what? You're right. I can't believe it took me this long to realize this. Honestly, I'm surprised that we haven't gotten to your old home. We were close, but we just kept drifting away from it. Ozawa lifts his head from his hands, eyes widen, and turns to him. Of course. I completely forgot. My goal was to return to Mongolia. But I was just so... Listen, Ganti. Back then, I'd laugh at the idea of you becoming a Mongol leader. But now that I've seen war twice, I feel like you could be a better leader. Maybe a great leader. So, does that mean that you're... I'll support you. The Japanese Mongolian smiles at his friend, but the smile fades as he comes to another realization. But I still gonna head to f***ing Iwo Jima soon. Ugh, and I know how that's gonna turn out. Hey, don't worry about it. I got a plan.